swirls across the stage in the opening number of James and the Giant Peach. Marvel as magic is on display, he invites, with a flourish of his top hat and a roguish wink. Jaguar Theater's 2017 production of James and the Giant Peach Jr., directed by Corinne Garcia, was creative, polished, mischievous, and magical. As a theater production, it was truly delightful. As an experience for the students, the show will go down as legendary. But first, I need to set the stage. Our star, Ceta's Outstanding Theater Educator of 2018, is Mrs. Corinne Garcia. Corinne is unquestionably a leader on her campus and throughout the state. She served twice as the electives department chair and has been the AVID program coordinator and was recognized as Toby Johnson Middle School Teacher of the Year in 2010 and 2013. In addition to being a member of Ceta and the Educational Theater Association, Corinne has been a panel member for the California League of Middle Schools. She is a member of the California Arts Project, Sierra North Arts Project, and was part of TCAP's leadership program for arts education in the 21st century in 2010, and a teacher leader for TCAP's Pathways to Understanding Arts Disciplines Institute in 2011. An impressive list and well-deserved, but not unlike James Henry Trotter, where Corinne has found herself and the attention that comes with it was quite unexpected. Corinne had not planned on teaching theater. In fact, she describes her childhood self as painfully shy. She did, however, always dream of becoming a teacher. A California native, Corinne Antonia Spinelli grew up in Brentwood, with her mom, her dad, her younger sister, and several dogs. There she became a lifelong Giants fan, graduated from Liberty High School, and made plans to teach her favorite subject, English. Corinne followed her dream to Sacramento State University, where she earned a bachelor's degree in English and a teaching credential in May of 2004. She started her intended career that very summer in the Elk Grove Unified School District, teaching freshman English to summer school students of varied performance levels. Anybody else ever taught science? Right. Corinne was then quickly hired by Toby Johnson Middle School in Elk Grove, where she has now taught for 15 years. As part of the electives program, Corinne's first full-time teaching schedule included creative writing, publications, and a beginning theater class. At the close of the year, she and her students put on an evening showcase of one-acts, scenes, and monologues. Her principal, Patrick McDougall, then approached her about a dream of his, Jaguar Theater. "I want our school to put on a play," he told her. Corinne had not previously considered herself a director or even an actor, but her response to that challenge shows that at her heart, she is truly a theater person. When Mr. McDougall said, "Can you do that?" she said, "I can learn," and so she did. So Corinne sought out training that summer at the Wells Fargo Teaching Through Musical Theater Institute, a professional learning program connected to Broadway Sacramento's Music Circus. She did so at the same time as attending the AVID Summer Institute and teaching English 9 in summer school again. The next summer, Corinne returned to the Teaching Through Musical Theater Institute, and by fall 2006 was ready for her musical theater directorial debut, Honk Jr. That success was followed by more than a dozen shows leading up to her current work on Disney's High School Musical Junior, which opens this November 15th. So, always looking for ways to grow, Corinne attended the Globe Education Academy in London in 2010 and followed up by directing her students in a Shakespearean performance on stage at UC Davis Mondavi Center. Her experiences there led her to co-producing and directing Shakespeare in the Quad, a collaboration that I am fortunate to be part of. Now in its third year, Shakespeare in the Quad is a production that involves more than 60 students from 4 sister middle schools. They all come together to perform one of Shakespeare's works in a puzzle play format. Corinne's pieces of our puzzle are always creatively and skillfully directed. Her work as a member of our production team is consistently professional, and she's great fun to be around. That sense of fun is part of what makes Mrs. Garcia such an effective teacher. My daughter Annika, who is now 18, says of her former teacher, she makes theater accessible for middle school students. And my 11-year-old 6th grade son, Aaron, says, she seems really fun and awesome. I can't wait to work with her. That's a direct quote. Corinne's joy in her work is so infectious that it spreads to everyone around her. Her students, her colleagues, her friends, her family. I was introduced to Jesse Garcia, Corinne's boyfriend, in 2016 when he was building a cave for Ursula the Sea Witch. Not the first set he had built for Corinne, and I'm sure not his last. Her tremendous dedication made it obvious to Jesse how important Corinne's work as a theater educator is to her. What better way to show his support than to stage his proposal in a theatrical moment that would include her students? Which brings us back to James and the Giant Peach Jr. While Corinne worked all those long hours that come with teaching and directing educational theater, Jesse planned and waited. It couldn't be opening night or closing. Jesse knew Corinne wouldn't want to upstage her students. But on the Friday night after curtain call, amid an energetic buzz that can only be generated by middle school students in the midst of a romantic conspiracy, Corinne was brought up to the stage with her eyes closed. She opened them to see, right before her eyes, Jesse dressed in a full suit of armor on one knee. And of course, the rest is history. Corinne and Jesse were married this summer, and a whole group of students became believers in happy endings and theater magic. But even more importantly, Corinne Garcia has helped many, many individual students become believers in themselves. She pushed us to the limits of what we were capable of doing. My 14-year-old son, Aiden, told me. She helped us achieve what she knew we could, not just what we thought we could do. And this from a very round-faced, awkward 12-year-old who showed up to his first audition not quite prepared, and then ended up on stage as that Laud Award a year later. From simple beginnings, Corinne has created, built, and developed the thriving Jaguar Theater program at Toby Johnson. She teaches Theater 1 and Theater 2 classes, as well as continuing to teach AVID, and directs theatrical productions after school. Thanks to Corinne, the Toby Johnson musical middle school community can look forward to musical theater in the fall and Shakespeare in the spring. Corinne shows her students how to face challenges with creativity and good humor. As Laud Lord sings, there might be sunshine or thunder, but we proceed right before your eyes. Here's Corinne.
Teaching your children has been such a joy, and I'm so thankful I've had the opportunity. Thank you for your kind words and for your nomination for this award. I practiced my speech in front of my students this week, and they told me I needed to start with a joke. So, they also told me which joke I needed to use. So, what do you call an alligator wearing a vest? An investigator. For 15 years, I've been interested to teach children in many different capacities, but mostly in theater arts. To be recognized as the California Educational Theater Association's Outstanding Educator in Theater is something I could not have foreseen when I started this journey. I wasn't always this put together and confident. As a young girl, I was pretty shy, as Amy said, but I knew I wanted to be an English teacher. Overcoming my initial fear of public speaking and a case of stage fright in high school was one of my many challenges. I attended Liberty High School in Brentwood, California, where I blossomed and found a home in the performing arts, singing and choir. It was there that I began to realize that I had a gift that my teacher, Mrs. Stewart, was the key to unlocking. She continuously pushed and challenged me to step outside of where I was comfortable, and in doing so, helped break me out of my shell. By the middle of my senior year, I had summoned up the courage to try out for a show. And I got a part. I was townswoman number 1 in The Music Man. It was the most fun I had in my entire high school career. I wished I had auditioned sooner, but I was thankful for the experiences that my time at Liberty had afforded me. Fast forward through a whole lot of work at Sac State, getting my English degree and teaching credential. And that brings us to where I start my career at Toby Johnson Middle School. My time as Toby Johnson's theater teacher hasn't always been easy. I initially interviewed to teach a class that would utilize my English credential in a traditional way. Thank God I did not get that job. God had different plans. He had bigger plans for me. I stand before you with my entire career so far as a drama teacher. Theater arts is the class of expression, new ideas, and an emotional outlet for some. And for others, it's an opportunity to use a voice that is buried deep inside, and some don't even know they have it yet. Middle school is a tough age. I know I don't ever want to relive it. Between maneuvering through classes and homework and trying to function with all the new feelings, raging hormones, evolving relationships, some kids can get lost in the shuffle. Middle school is arguably the most difficult time of our lives. My class all chuckled when I said that. And yet, I decided to go back to it. I want to be someone else's Mrs. Stewart. Their key to unlocking their gifts and talents. Middle school is where I live, and I have the fortuitous opportunity to help make it a little easier for a new set of teens every year. I had no idea my journey would plant me in charge of a theater program that I'd be so blessed to create. To see my students light up in class at auditions, rehearsals, opening night, closing vows, it's a transformation unlike any other I witnessed in teaching. The blooming confidence of these kids, the daily growth and expression developed through self-discovery, these are my job's biggest rewards. This is what motivates me to wake up at 5 a.m. every day, research the needs of my show on the weekends, and create lesson plans that excite and intrigue young minds. My students bring me so much joy. I learn more and more from them every day. To be able to look at a stage full of varying talents, abilities, disabilities, and personal histories, and synchronize each individual to perform as part of a bigger picture has been a test of perseverance. And yet, through teamwork with my colleagues and our students, we deliver performances that wow the community, amaze the parents, and fill the students with pride. My favorite part about teaching theater is teaching that kid. You know, the one who can't sit still in history class, the one who's always chatting in English class, the one who's always in trouble for blurting out or tapping on the desk. That kid thrives in theater. Because theater is where they can physically and emotionally express themselves. They're not tied to a chair. They don't have to be confined to a desk. The best part is helping that kid become successful. I've watched my students move on to bigger and better things. High school, college, the workforce, and the stage. To ignite a spark in a young person's life and to hear from them later how the work I did impacted their journey is truly a magical feeling. Teaching theater is a job I never knew I always wanted. Sometimes I still have a hard time believing that I get to do this. Receiving the Ceta Outstanding Theater Educator Award means more to me than I could describe to you all. I believe that teaching is the best job in the world, and I always have. I was 9 when I decided I was going to be a teacher. But getting to teach theater to young people, wow. To inspire young students to reach for their dreams. To foster a safe space for students to express themselves and create without fear of judgment from their peers. To encourage positive connections to the world around us through the arts. And to provide a family for students from all walks of life, abilities, and backgrounds. Because theater is where everyone belongs. I love my job. I can't take all the credit. Many people have led and coached me, held me up when I needed the support, and stood as a beacon of light when I needed direction. All my life, my parents encouraged me to study hard in school and put forth my best effort in everything I do. My contacts are blurry. Through their daily example of getting up early and working hard every day until the job was done, they were very positive role models for my work ethic. They're here tonight, and I want to say to them publicly, Dad, Mom, thank you for setting the bar so high and for never giving up, never quitting on yourselves and on us girls. I want to thank my principal, Patrick McDougall, for taking a chance on a first-year teacher and for all of his support and encouragement along the way. Lisa Sandoval, Caitlin Knapp, Amy Caston, Michaela Demos, and Michelle Campbell. Thank you all for sharing your time, talent, energy, and dedication to me and to our students. The kids of Elk Grove are so blessed to have you guys as such wholesome, amazing mentors. My husband Jesse, who's on the floor. Thank you for believing in me, and reminding me of my worth. I wish I could see me through your eyes. I always enjoy sharing my day with you when I get home. And finally, thank you to the California Educational Theater Association for this tremendous honor. Who would have thought that this shy girl would become the one who gets to encourage kids to break out of their shells? I consider teaching a privilege, but getting to teach theater is a blessing. Thank you.
So how many high school theater students does it take